These are the 22 spiritual habits to change your life forever. And the first one is really the most important, and that is dedicating a little time every day to meditation and mindful breathing. We spend so much of our day lost in the illusion of duality, and we really believe in the constant change of forms around us, and they take on such importance that they create so much stress in our lives. And so we simply turn our attention inwards, turn it to that space within us where there is no separation, and we connect to the entire universe because it is all within us. There is no separate forms inside of us when we close our eyes and we sense that deep peace of space and stillness and silence. And we are always breathing, and breath is a doorway to that spaciousness. When we are stressed, our breathing is stressed, and we can calm our breath and we calm ourselves. And this is truly the key to no longer needing anything external to bring us relief from that stress, because we are that source of peace. We are the source of love and stillness. The world will be chaotic, but stillness is our true nature, and that is why we can always find it when we turn inward and return home. Number 2 is having a gratitude practice. Every morning, every evening, before we do anything in the morning and at the end of our day, spend just a minute or two to feel, not just repeat what we're grateful for, but to think about and feel grateful. If we are used to negative thinking, it'll take a minute to truly feel gratitude, that gratitude that brings a natural smile to our face. And that is why this is so important. The more we do this, the more that positive thinking and focusing on the things we're grateful for becomes a habit and second nature. And the easier that smile stays on our face throughout the day. By doing it at night, it sets us up to wake up happy. By doing it in the morning, it sets our day on the right foot. So we think about not just what we have that we're grateful for, but we think about where we are going, and we are grateful for the universe to support us on that journey, as it has always supported us. And the more we focus on those positives, the more likely we are to bring about even more positives in our life. Because a positive person surrounds themselves with positive people and has the energy to achieve what they wish without that draining, depressive energy that exhausts us and makes us fearful and too afraid to start. And simply being grateful for who we are gives us the confidence to take on any challenge and to achieve any goal. Number 3 is my favorite habit, because it is not just a life hack, but it is a universe hack. And that is service to others. When we make service to others a goal, we gain the most. We gain the deepest, lasting joy from giving to others. And when we are selfless, we discover that all our needs are fulfilled. When we need a hug, we can give a hug, and then we are getting a hug. But not only are we getting a hug, we are getting the true joy of giving love to someone else. We are helping someone else, and there is no greater feeling than being of service. It's incredible that we live in a universe where the greatest health benefits, the greatest mental health benefits come from when we help others. And that is probably why we haven't blown ourselves up yet in thermonuclear war. And if every day we can do something for someone else, if whenever we are feeling needs, when we are feeling that we need support, when we give it to someone else, we get it tenfold. We get appreciation from someone else. We get that confidence from the value we bring to someone else. And to be selfless is to be out of our head, is to be not self-conscious in any way. And it is to be truly present and at peace, without a care in the world, without any problems, when we are completely selfless. And I think that was by design in this universe. Number 4, spend some time with nature. Commune with a plant, walk through a park, pet a puppy, whatever is available to you. Connect with nature. Nature is a greater wisdom than the human brain will ever be, because it created the human brain. We suffer so much in this world and in our lives because of our disconnection to nature, specifically around grief and loss. In nature, we see there is no death, there is no loss, there is only nature turning over, moving forward, feeding new generations. Nature has figured out how to survive without stress, fear, worry, doubt, hostility, aggression, and it all works together in perfect harmony. The tiger does not eat more than it needs. It doesn't claim the land for itself. There is no war in the animal kingdom. It is simply the everlasting growth and evolution of life on this planet, working together, understanding how we're all connected with that wisdom that our greatest science cannot comprehend. It works effortlessly, in perfection, and it is only humans who struggle with how to live in balance because we have disconnected ourselves. So when you look at a plant, look deeply, look at all the details, sense that energy that it radiates, just like every human carries an energy around, and we can sense a human's energy, whether they're joyful or angry or stressed or sad. And see if you can listen to the energy of nature, that peaceful calm, and allow yourself to slow down a little to nature's pace when you're doing this. A tree, a flower, they grow at an imperceptible speed. It looks completely still to the naked eye. And yet, as we look around, we see the traces of growth all around us. Only humans are rushing to our grave. And allow the pace of nature to slow us down. Number 5, mindful eating. We almost never eat mindfully, unless maybe it's a rare meal at a restaurant, at a very fancy place where they make a big show of the food and it costs way too much money. Most of the time, we scarf down our food. We watch something while we're eating, and hopefully, we're also eating with others. But even when we're eating with others, we can pay extra attention to what we're doing. We can be present with every single bite. We can feel all of the flavor with every bite, instead of just tasting it and then not paying any attention the rest of the time. The more we pay attention to our food, the more we pay attention to what we are consuming. Is it nourishing us? Is it the right amount in accordance with our body? And so often we eat these very hyper-stimulating foods that have tons of sugar, and it almost drugs us and puts us in this comatose state where we are not present. We eat a whole bag of chips and we wonder where the bag went. And so all we have to do is be present, not lose ourselves to the food, and we will not eat the wrong stuff or eat too much of it or eat too little of it. We'll listen to our body, and this is another way we can connect with the earth, connect with nature, because there is no separation between the earth, our food, and our life. We are alive because of this connection. And the more we are aware of that connection, the more we will protect the earth, and the more it will sustain us. Number 6, take digital detoxes. This is so crucial. I recommend we do this every day, a little bit. And for a full day, once a week or once a month. And even more when we're on vacation or when we are really able to step away from the screens. We are not designed to read something and then 5 seconds later read something totally different on a totally different topic, or watch a video for 5 or 10 seconds and then watch another one on a totally different topic. This creates a scattered mind, and that is a chaotic mind. So pay attention to that compulsive urge to pull out our phone when it didn't even vibrate, it didn't even ring, no notification came in. We're just bored. Because when we are bored and we pull out our phone without thinking, without consciously doing anything with a positive intention, we are relying on our phone to cure boredom. And it becomes a crutch. And when we use a crutch and we don't need a crutch, our legs become weak and feeble if we're just using crutches all the time for no reason. And in this case, when it's a mental crutch, we are weakening our mind. We are lessening our patience, and we become more bored, more impatient, and more reliant on escapism and hyperstimulating entertainment. And most importantly, we lose touch with the beauty of this world. And we subconsciously believe that there's nothing good in the world anymore. And so we want to escape to our phone. But there is so much to see all around us. There is peace in this moment. And just start to pay attention to your breath when you're on your phone, because it is almost always tense. We're almost always holding our breath, breathing very shallow and choppy. And the more time throughout the day that we can afford to just enjoy the moment, to observe our breath, and make sure we're breathing that deep, peaceful, calm type of breath, that long, deep, slow inhale and exhale, the more peaceful and joyful our lives become. And the less our muscles are clenched and tense, the less our organs and cells in our body are stressed and tense. And we can just relax. And we don't need any product, any technology, any food or addiction to bring us relief from that stress or tension. And this is that lasting, permanent way to true joy and true lasting peace and happiness, because we are the source of that peace. And we do not need a crutch. And this is how we grow stronger every day. This is how we deepen our capacity for joy, so that every moment is the greatest moment of our lives. Number 7, setting intentions. We are either acting consciously or we are acting unconsciously. When we begin to act consciously, we stop bouncing around this world, randomly, chaotically, simply responding to whatever life throws our way. And we start to walk the path that we wish to walk. This is how we achieve what we want. So every morning, we set the intention for, what do I want to achieve today? What really matters to me? What is the most important priority in my life right now? And is that priority what society tells me I should want? Or is that what my heart is really calling for? So when we quiet our thoughts and focus, where does our heart pull us towards? Suddenly, our day becomes clear. Our year, our plans and our goals become clear. And the steps that we need to take to get there appear to us on a daily basis of what gets me to my goal. The very first step of reaching any goal is intention and attention, where we put our focus, choosing our place, our destination, and then keeping our attention on that goal. Some days it may be very confusing, and we may not be sure what we're supposed to do, why we're here. And so we need to sit with ourselves and block out the noise of the world that has its own opinions, that will keep us running on a rat wheel forever. And we can visualize that place in our mind we want to go, that person we want to become. And the more we spend time embodying that person in our meditation, and we see our future selves, where we are, what that looks like, we smell it, we hear it, we taste it, we touch it, the more our subconscious mind fills in those steps on how to get there. Number 8 is physical exercise. We are energetic beings. We are alive because of the energy flowing through our body. And the more that energy is flowing, the more energy we have to achieve our goals, the more energy our body has to heal itself, and the more that energy can flow. And we are the energy generators. We have the ability to power this machine and keep it moving. So the more that we keep these bodies moving, the less energy stagnates and just sits there. And especially if we are having a lot of anxious energy or even anger energy within us, we can get that flowing through us and out of us just by going for a walk, just by getting on a bike, just by lifting some weight, just by playing basketball or golf or tennis or dancing with a friend or dancing by ourselves. These are all incredible, powerful ways to stay light, to keep our energy moving so that nothing stagnates and accumulates, and that we are able to take control of our energy levels, which is so important. Even yoga is such a great and powerful way to let out that negative energy and keep generating that positive energy. Whatever it is to get the body moving, even changing location, even just running an errand, going to the grocery store, these all get us out of our head, out of the place we were in a moment ago. And we can truly change our entire outlook just by changing our position, our location, our activity level. Physical health, mental health, spiritual health are all deeply connected. And when they are all aligned and we are living in alignment with our actions, our words, our thoughts, and we are at peace because we are in harmony with ourselves. We are born to live in nature, to be very physically active, and to eat nutritious foods, to rest, to play, and to reflect. And we need all of these to reach our greatest self. Number 9 is daily prayer. And it doesn't matter if you are praying to the universe, praying to God, many gods, the Buddha, to the laws of physics. Simply giving thanks, putting your faith in the mystery of the universe, to trust in this thing that is so much bigger than ourselves, is incredibly stress relieving and can just give us one more thing in the universe to be grateful to give love to, and to trust that what is out of our hands is in good hands. So pray to whoever, whatever, all the gods, none of the gods. That is a personal choice. But there is a wisdom in nature. There is a wisdom in this universe, and it is so far beyond anything we can comprehend. And to question it, to doubt it, does nothing but make us suffer. And the fact is that this universe with rainbows and eclipses and a sunset and a sunrise every single day, and with the flowers, the beautiful flowers for us to enjoy that teach us about impermanence and the fleeting nature of all things, is magic. It is a miracle. And so we simply show reverence and appreciation to this incredible universe we're born into. Where we put our attention is everything. And if we only focus on what the news tries to direct our attention towards, we will suffer, we will have fear and stress. But we can put our attention on that great stuff that's here for all of us. The warm sun, the beautiful birds, covering every inch of this planet. And when we pray, we don't have to pray for things. We can pray for the universe or God for making our prayers come true. And what I mean by that is, instead of praying for health, we pray thanking the universe for healing us, thanking the universe for healing others, thanking the universe for help making our dreams come true, for this beautiful planet. And by making it a present moment reality, we are feeling present moment gratitude. And if the universe is anything like people, when we are grateful, people are more likely to do things for us. And that is just what I've noticed in my life, which is when I am overly grateful, the universe is overly giving. Number 10, cultivating forgiveness. We are all flawed humans. We are all going to know flawed human, and we will be hurt, we will be betrayed, we will be let down and disappointed. And we are all holding on to some level of resentment, some kind of grudge, some kind of anger towards somebody who's been in our lives, who has hurt us. And what we can do is sit with that hurt and be the loving embrace to that hurt, to hold that pain and to give it the space to just be, not resisting it, but we are going to create a relaxed energy around attention. And that is how it will loosen up. And it doesn't mean we have to go tell someone we forgive them or ever see a person again. Someone who's hurt us, who has made no sign of remorse, who is likely to hurt us again, we do not have to go to that person. We do not have to be in their presence, but we can forgive. We can let go of the hatred and anger. And this is what it really means to forgive, is to let that anger go, to free ourselves. Not to put ourselves in danger or put ourselves in a position to be taken advantage of, but simply giving ourselves the permission to heal from that trauma, to go back to when we were as joyful and peaceful as can be. Forgiving is just a gift we give to ourselves, and we all deserve that, no matter what we have been through or how hurt we've been. We don't have to keep that person with us inside for the rest of our lives. And this breaks the cycle of violence, the cycle of trauma, the cycle of hatred in this world, so that we don't pass on that anger, that stress, so we don't keep that trigger response inside of us, so that nobody can trigger it. And we just let it go by letting it be. Number 11, setting boundaries. We all have limits. We all have a certain capacity for holding space for others. And we owe it to ourselves to know those limits and to recognize when we are just trying to please someone else, when we are putting someone else's emotions above our own. We do not have to be in any position to be where someone will drain our energy. That is our precious energy. We do not have to make our life a constant struggle by accommodating people who do not value us or respect us or honor ourselves like we would honor them. So as much as we want to love everybody, some people need to be loved from a distance. That is just the way it is, because they may be too toxic. They may be unresponsive to advice and guidance. And so we must protect ourselves from hurt people who are being hurtful. And we can still keep our compassion. We can still hold a place for them in our heart. We can still love them. But not everyone can have access to us, can get access to us. There's only so many hours in a day. There's only so many people we can have in our lives. So we have to make choices. And by not feeding into someone's narcissism or abusive patterns can sometimes be the greatest way we can help them. Number 12, embracing stillness. Carve out as many moments throughout the day to appreciate the stillness and silence and the spaciousness. As often as we can, appreciate a moment of presence without distraction. The more we do this, no matter what else is going on in our lives, it will not seem so busy, so chaotic, so unmanageable. And notice how rare and precious these moments are. Notice how there is something constantly trying to pull our attention away from the here and now, from a moment of peace and quiet. And you will see very quickly that these endangered species, this stillness, this quiet moment, this non-distracted presence, how precious it is and how important it is to protect them. It may be going for a walk without headphones in. It may be brushing our teeth without something distracting us. It may be any time of day that we just wait a minute to pull out our phone. Just one little minute. We have that urge and we just give it a second. Most people are so acclimatized to chaos that peace gives us anxiety. And we need to refamiliarize ourselves with peace. This is the only way we will have a peaceful life and we will have a peaceful world. Number 13, simplicity. As much as we can, simplify life. Simplify our schedule. Simplify the stuff in our house. Simplify the number of things that distract us on a regular basis. And practice a more minimal lifestyle. Not minimal, you don't have to be a minimalist, you don't have to throw out your stuff. But to minimize the things we obsess over, the things that take up our brain space that don't need to be there. Clean out the clutter. In our homes, sure, but in our minds, most importantly. Clean out the junk from our bodies, from our endless to-do list. Of course, we have to get everything done that needs to get done, but what is on there that is not bringing us lasting joy or meaning to our lives? Life really isn't that complicated. There's really no product, there's no item that we need that didn't exist 100,000 years ago. Human beings were able to live and have wonderful lives, fulfilled, enriched with only the things that grew on the trees and the bushes. So no matter how much something seems like we need it, no matter how much we feel we need to do something, we can relax, we can reassess, and maybe we still do it. Maybe we find that there is something that we want to work towards, but we don't have to have all the things right now or do all of the things right now. So much technology was supposed to make our lives easier. It was supposed to simplify our lives, save us a trip to the bank. But all that technology ended up cluttering our minds and our lives so much more that we are with less free time than ever. And so if we use technology wisely, we'll finally have that space to breathe. Number 14, honoring silence. Notice that tendency to always fill up silence, a moment of silence in our conversations with podcasts and music, and start to look deeper into that silence and start to notice that peaceful, calm energy that comes from it. Notice that it is the silence that makes all sound possible, that it is the truest, deepest part of us, from which all of the chaos emerges from. It is that source. It is the essence of who we are. And learn to really cherish that silence. Music is wonderful. Podcasts are great. But everything in balance. And if we resist silence, if we feel the need to fill that space with mindless chatter, and we don't hold space for ourselves and others with that silence, then we create a habit in our mind to always fill any moment of peace with that same mindless chatter. One of the greatest things we can do with others is to sit in silence. This is how we can truly connect on a deeper level, on that energetic level of subtlety, to see what really is going on beneath the surface, beneath the story we tell ourselves, beneath that persona we've created. And silence lets us peer deeper, see subtlety, and expand our awareness. So notice that urge to resist it, and then just sit with it a little longer. It is so healing and peaceful, and it helps every muscle relax in our body, and it allows our mind to settle because we're no longer just flooding it with more and more information. Number 15, deepening relationships. There really are no separate people, no separate things. There are only relationships. And when we live in wise relation to the world around us, everything flows better. And so spending some time every day to nourish those authentic connections and those deep relationships is one of the most healing things we can do. We are social creatures. Even if we're introverts, even if we're loners, we are social species, and we need each other. We exist because of each other, We are not separate from anyone or anything. We all came from two people who came from two people, going back for countless generations. And when we connect with others, we connect with that deeper sense of who we are. We realize we are not separate individuals, but a process of life. And it expands our awareness beyond the separateness to oneness. So finding those loving people and nurturing those loving relationships can bring infinite joy and love into our lives. Spirituality isn't about a solo activity. It's about living in harmony and with wisdom with everyone and everything around us. It's about bringing out the gifts within us so we can share them with everyone else. This is the truest and deepest form of generosity, to give yourself to others and let them give themselves to you. We can create very meaningful and deep relationships. We can connect deeper with coworkers, with the doorman, with our barista, with dogs and cats. There are opportunities everywhere. Everyone is feeling lonely these days in our Western individualistic societies, and everyone is craving connection. So reach out, and you'll be amazed at who reaches back. Number 16, embrace change. Every single thing in this universe is constantly changing. There is absolutely nothing in this physical universe that remains the same, that is unchanging. And so we either resist change, we cling and grasp and attach to temporary phenomena and suffer when it inevitably changes, or we can flow with this eternal present moment, and we can change with it and be flexible and adapt and not be afraid of our own growth and evolution. Resisting change will only bring suffering, and embracing change will bring lasting peace, because that is to accept reality. And some great things will change, and the beauty is that the bad things will also change, and we just keep welcoming this ever-changing moment, knowing that we can enjoy the good times and the bad times won't last. 17. Trust the journey. There is a wisdom in the universe so far beyond ours. There is a wisdom of these bodies beyond anything we can comprehend. These self-healing machines that we inhabit are miraculous. And the thoughts in our brain cannot conceive what is inconceivable. The magic of this universe. Why there is something instead of nothing. Why matter doesn't pass through matter, even though both are mostly empty space. Why there is beauty. Why there is love. And so we just have to submit to the awe-inspiring power of the universe that is bigger than us. The mystery can be scary, or it can be wondrous. The choice is ours. Instead of fearing the unknown, we can trust that this universe is here to support us, that everything has conspired to support life and to support our well-being. we don't just live. We have happiness. We have the pleasure chemicals in our brain. We have incredible capacity for peace and joy, and that is a miracle. This universe is not a trick. It's not a trap. It's not a joke played on us. There's plenty of evidence, from the sheer beauty of a tree to the stars at night, that this universe is designed for us. So we can all relax. We can all not take anything too seriously. And we can trust the universe's plans for us and that everything's going to work out. We know that any setback is minor. Any wrong turns on our journey are just detours. But that it's all meant for us. And it is all part of the plan. Nothing happens by accident or mistake to the universe. It all is the laws of physics, cause and effect. We are here because of infinite causes and conditions that came before us. And we are just living out that karma, moving towards a brighter future. And we know it's true because we are the source of that brightness. We are the light shining through. Number 18, embrace vulnerability. We are all human beings. We are all in these physical bodies that are decaying and aging and getting wrinkles and have limited knowledge and limited experience. There is no need to expect perfection from ourselves or to project perfection. This is how we can authentically connect with others, because when we know ourselves, we know others. And we are all evolving. We are all on a spiritual path at different places. And nobody has reached a destination because there is no destination. We all see people who put on a big show and act tough or are very rigid and certain about everything. But that is really a projection of insecurity. That is a overcompensation for the truth. That is, we are all just doing our best to make the best of this life we have. And when we can put down that guard, that shield, that persona we've built up, then we can truly connect as souls. And this is where love lies and selflessness. When we are confident in our vulnerability, that is true confidence. Because when we are guarding our vulnerability, our confidence is shaky and unstable. And someone can break that guard with a cruel word and will be shattered. So embracing our truth, our authenticity, and our true selves is to be open to the world, to be open and honest with ourselves. And this is how we reach a level of acceptance of ourselves and our flaws, by not denying them, but by owning them and sharing our truth with the world. (19) Practice detachment. Detachment from material possessions, detachment from outcomes, and practice finding the freedom in flowing with the impermanent nature of reality. Whatever we hold on to, whatever we cling to, whether it's a sense of ourselves, possessions, relationships, all of these things will change. And the easier we let go of our old self, our old stuff, our old interests, we are able to welcome that new person and that constant growth. And we will achieve more when we focus more on the present moment's steps to reach our goal than we focus on tightly holding on to that goal. Goals may change. Outcomes may take longer than expected. And if we are constantly attached to a future moment, we will miss the journey. And when we miss the journey, we are more likely to fail at the outcome. Detachment doesn't mean being passive. It doesn't mean withdrawing from life. It means embracing life, which only happens in the here and now. And as soon as we become attached to something, we miss the thing, because whatever we attach to is already in the past. And we have to keep welcoming this present moment. And so we can't do that if we've clung on to something that has already gone by. If we become attached in our relationships, then we have this constant worry about it ending or about it changing. And we miss the present moment where that relationship exists. The more we let go, the more that comes into our life and the more we gain. It is the grasping that pushes away what we truly love. And whether it's people, outcomes, or stuff, that worry prevents us from appreciating every moment we have with that thing. So the more we can accept loss while we still have something, the more we can fully enjoy the person, the journey, the stuff. It's like people who put covers over their couches because they're so attached to the couch and they're so attached to the way it looks that they want to cover it in clear plastic and they never can fully enjoy it. Only through detachment can we fully enjoy this life. 20. Practicing inner peace. Perhaps the greatest skill we can learn in life is to cultivate a habit of peacefulness. So often in life, we seek happiness through pleasure, but every single pleasure experience is like a roller coaster. We are excited about the thing, and then we have the thing, and then it's over. And we have that anticipation, build up, excitement, release, and longing and craving. And we want more of it, and we suffer until we get some other form of relief. And it makes life a roller coaster of ups and downs. And the key to inner peace is catching ourselves, no matter what makes us lose ourselves. Whether it is joy or pain, we practice staying aware and bringing our presence back to our centered nature. And so that we never get carried away in positive or negative. And this is the key to a truly peaceful life. This is the key to true and lasting happiness, the real deep joy that there is no opposite of, because we are centered. Happiness is just a chemical in the brain, and so is sadness and depression and anxiety and anger. These are all just different hormones and chemicals. But we can always be at peace. There is no need to fluctuate from one to the other. We can stay at peace through any kind of chaotic situation we find ourselves in. And when we do this, it is like growing roots in the present moment and building a strong and sturdy base in our center so that nothing can sway us too far. When we practice this more and more, what we find is that deep peace is more joyful than any roller coaster, than any pleasurable activity or substance we can consume. And it is permanent and free. And we simply do this by understanding those things where we lose ourselves, whether it is joy or pain. And we start to make a habit of maintaining awareness in these times, those times we would normally lose ourselves. Sometimes it may be eating junk food. Sometimes it may be watching our favorite show or movie. Often it is in any compulsive behavior that we do. And when we do those things, we simply, as much as we can, bring awareness to our thoughts, our breath, our body. And what will happen is those unhealthy behaviors, those unnecessary panic attacks, those unnecessary stressful or negative thoughts will just slowly disappear, because unconscious behavior and unconscious thoughts cannot survive the light of consciousness. 21. Living in alignment. Most of us don't really explore our deepest intentions. And when we don't explore our deepest intentions, our thoughts, our behaviors, and our words do not align with our deepest self. And when we are living out of alignment, we have inner conflict, which generally leads to outer conflict. The relationship with ourself is a reflection of the relationship we have with others. And so we need to make sure that we are living in alignment with our values, our ethics, our intentions, and what we truly want out of life. Most of the time, we want a happy life and a peaceful life. And yet, our thoughts, our words, and our actions unconsciously create negativity and chaos. And they lead us further away from where we truly want to get to. When we are exactly who we say we are, there is no fear of getting caught. There is no self-sabotage. When we don't live in alignment, literally, this is what causes so many back problems, so many of our posture, our neck, our shoulder tension, because we are feeling stressed, because there is something not in accordance with our deepest self. That is the cause of this tension. If we want to feel loving, we need to give love. If we want to have a peaceful life, we need to think peaceful thoughts. We need to create peaceful habits and choices in our lives. And we need to be aware of those thoughts. We need to really be aware of the story we are telling ourselves constantly. Because our words that we speak start as thoughts. And those thoughts start as a belief we have about ourselves, which stems from the intention of who we want to be and what kind of person we're putting out in the world. This is where we really have to spend some time with self-reflection and introspection, and really examining what are we doing in our lives that doesn't align with who we truly are. A lot of people forget that we are animals and that we have a nature about us. And if we are not living within our nature, if we are not treating these physical bodies like they need, getting the sunshine, the air, and that loving energy from nature all around us, then we feel disconnected and disjointed. And we have to live in alignment, not just spiritually, but with all of nature, all of humanity. And this is where having a strong set of values and ethics really comes in, and making sure that we are living by them. And for monks, it means not using mind-altering substances or unhealthy substances, living an honest life, making an honest living. And the more that every aspect of our life aligns with the kind of values that lead to more peace, lead to less fear of getting caught, the more we are able to relax and be peaceful. 22. Daily reading. We are always consuming information, not just from books and the media, but from architecture, from other people. We are always taking in information and processing it. So it is essential that every day we consume some intentional information. It doesn't have to be a book. It can be an audiobook or any kind of positive information such as this that helps us become more peaceful and more present. It is so essential that we, a little bit every day, reaffirm what really matters to us, and to give ourselves those positive influences in a world where they are too few and too rare. For many people, this is going to a church or a temple, and that can be a wonderful experience. And for others, that can just be reading a Buddhist text or any kind of book that aligns with the highest aspirations that we have for ourselves. We are consuming so much mental junk food and chaotic noise and a media that does not have our highest self-actualization at their intention. And so we need to take some time to consciously cultivate some of the information we receive and to re-center ourselves, recalibrate ourselves, and remind ourselves of the deeper meaning beyond what the news is showing us, so that we realize that there is more love in this world than hate. There is more good than bad, more generosity than greed, even though it's hard to see sometimes, and even though it doesn't make the evening news. So those are the 22 things to do to create a habit for a spiritually rich life. If you do these things, then problems disappear, and there are only welcome wonders, challenges, and blessings.